Assassin's Creed is unforgettable for its action-packed and badass moments, but does it also make you cry? Yes, it does. And today we're diving into those emotional moments which hit you right in the heart, and maybe make you question why you're crying over pixels. So let's begin. We're skipping AC1 because, honestly, Altair doesn't have emotional moments. My guy in AC1 is a bit too chill.
Yeah, boy.
Starting with AC2, which greatly improved storytelling by a mile and introduced narrative-driven cutscenes, which made everything feel more alive. Also at the time, Ezio had a lot going on in his life, and the emotional moment hits hard when his family dies. The game builds all of that perfectly. We all thought Ezio had delivered the letter and that his family was safe. After all, his father was an assassin. Surely he was untouchable, right? But no. Ezio's entire world crumbles as his family is sentenced to death. The shock, the betrayal, the sheer unexpectedness, it's heartbreaking. This moment isn't just emotional, it sets the stage for everything that comes after, making Ezio the Ezio we know today. My boy literally went from chasing hot chicks to his family killers. Brotherhood continues Ezio's tragic tale, making multiple storylines that deepen the series' emotional impact. While many would say that Desmond killing Lucy is the most emotional one, in our opinion, the most emotional scene isn't that. But the one that we're talking about is Christina's death. Her story lives in Ezio's memories, which he desperately wanted to forget. She helped him bury his family, stood by him through his worst stages, and got married with someone else, yet still hoped to restore relations with Ezio. Later, Ezio finds her again in Florence during the revolutionary period. He discovers her abusive husband and teaches him a lesson just so Christina can live a happy life, but ultimately finds her dead as the city falls under Savonarola's control. It's really heartbreaking because despite their love, their paths kept them apart, and it's exactly this deep and personal tragedy that makes Christina's death the most emotional moment in Brotherhood. Revelations is the final chapter of Ezio's journey, and it ties together multiple storylines, most importantly Ezio's and Altair's. Naturally, both deserve attention. For Ezio, the entire game slowly builds toward an emotional payoff. He's older, more rugged, more brutal, and clearly tired. His actions speak louder than his words, whether it's blowing up an entire city or causing public chaos without hesitation. The payoff comes when he finally reaches the library and finds Altair's skeleton reliving his final memory. In that moment, Ezio realizes he has seen enough for one lifetime and chooses to walk away. If you followed Ezio since AC2, this scene hits hard. You didn't just play as him, you grew up with him, and watching him leave the Creed is genuinely heartbreaking. Then there's Altair. His life is shown in fragments throughout the game, and every piece adds to the tragedy. He lost his family as a child, killed his mentor, lost his wife and youngest son, and was exiled from the Brotherhood. When he finally returns as an old man, his position is restored, but the most important years of his life are already gone. It's a devastating story and one that cements Altair as one of the most tragic and greatest assassins in the series. After 3 entries of Ezio, we finally get to see a new protagonist, Connor. The story is painfully slow, and we didn't really like the pacing of the story, but it was essential for its character development. Many would argue that the most emotional moments are watching his mother die, or his father die, or even losing his best friend. And sure, those moments hurt. But for us personally, nothing hits harder than the ending. Connor returns home after everything is over, only to find Achilles dead. That's one thing. He buries him, seals away the key to the Grand Temple, and then returns to his village, which is also completely abandoned. Put yourself in his place for just a moment. He lost his family, his mentor, his home, and his people. By the end, he has no one left. It's easily one of the most tragic and realistic endings in the entire series. Things do improve later for him though, and if you want to know what truly happened to Connor, make sure to check out our video on what happened to every assassin protagonist. Black Flag is a masterpiece when it comes to storytelling and character development. To make a character truly memorable, you have to make them vulnerable, and Edward Kenway is the perfect example. In the beginning, Edward is obsessed with money. Nothing matters more to him than plunder, luxury, and personal gain. But that mindset costs him dearly. Over the course of his journey, he loses almost everyone he once cared about: friends, family, and even his crew. There are many emotional moments throughout the game, but the most powerful one comes at the very end. As Edward prepares to leave for England, he imagines all his fallen comrades sitting beside him one last time. Combined with the song playing in the background, the scene perfectly captures his loss and regret. If you were truly connected with the characters and the world, this moment is an absolute tearjerker. Rogue serves as a prequel to Assassin's Creed 3 and tells us one of the darkest stories in the series, the purge of the colonial assassins by one of their own. It also flips the perspective, letting us see the world through the eyes of the Templars. The story is tragic from start to finish. Rogue brings back familiar characters, introduces new ones, and then slowly takes them away. If you followed Shay's journey, you know how deeply he cared for the assassins. He joined them for their cause, believed in them, that's until he uncovered their corruption. That realization forces him to do the unthinkable. He kills his former brothers, including Liam, the man who gave him a second chance at life after his father's death. But the most emotional scene is when Adewale was killed by Shay. He literally had nothing to do with the earthquake. He was only trying to save his crew. And if you listen closely, he's even defending Edward's name, despite the fact that they parted on bad terms. And if you play Black Flag and its DLC, this moment hits hard, making Adewale's death the most emotional scene in Rogue. Unity is set in revolutionary France, and at its core, it's a story about love, something that makes it one of the most tragic AC games. Within the first few minutes of the game, Arno's father is killed, immediately setting the emotional tone. Not long after, his adopted father meets the same fate. This kickstarts Arno's journey. From there, the entire game revolves around Arno working alongside his lover Elise to uncover the truth behind the murders. As the story unfolds, the game slowly makes us connect with the characters, constantly hinting that things won't end well. And when they finally confront Germain inside the temple, everything falls apart. Elise is killed right in front of Arno's eyes. That moment completely breaks him. He becomes ruthless, driven by vengeance, and emotionally shattered. And by the end, Arno is left with nothing but fragments of his past life, alone, depressed, and forever changed. Origins delivers one of the strongest stories in the modern Assassin's Creed era. It has such a phenomenal writing that gave every moment real weight. While many point to Khmu's death as the most emotional scene, in our opinion, it's the ending monologue that hits harder than hard. The death of a single child becomes a spark that creates a creed, one that will last for centuries and millennia. In the final moments, Bayek mirrors the game's opening, choosing to undo his past by escorting a terrified boy safely back home. After reading Aya's letter, he hears Khmu's voice, telling him to jump. Combined with the music and the distant chimes, the scene becomes devastating.
Papa? Jump.
It's a quiet reminder that Khmu is still with Bayek even though he's gone, and that realization is both heartbreaking and deeply emotional. Odyssey's story takes you through every emotion: sadness, happiness, and even anger. The downside is that the animations often don't do the voice acting justice, making some of the moments feel less real than they should. Still, the emotional highs make up for it. And without question, the most emotional moment in the game is Cassandra not letting Socrates hit. My boy tried his best talking for over 45 minutes straight, pulled out philosophy, ethics, free will, 3 hypothetical scenarios, just to impress Cassandra, but still got rejected. Seriously, this time, the most emotional moment in the game is undoubtedly the worst ending of the game. After hours of grinding, making careful choices, and even promising your mother that you'll bring Deimos back, you truly believe you've done everything right. But at the end, Deimos convinces you that this outcome is necessary, only to betray you, stabbing your mother in the back and killing her. With no other choice left, you're forced to kill him as well. The final image is devastating, holding your mother as she dies in your arms, then standing alone atop the mountain, completely broken. The fact that this ending is canon makes it the most emotional moment in Odyssey. Easily the biggest Assassin's Creed game in terms of content is Valhalla. We experienced every part of Eivor's journey, both her life as a Viking and her past as Odin. With so much content, emotional moments are spread throughout the game, but only a few truly hit hard. The first is the final major arc, the Battle of Chippenham. This arc brings the entire story together. Every alliance you forged and every ally you met finally plays a role. And during the chaos, many of those allies were brutally killed, including Abba Ragnarsson and Soma Jarl's Kona. If you played the game from start to finish and fully lived the journey, this arc hits on a completely different level. The second emotional moment comes in the last chapter, added at the very end of the game's roadmap. This arc is all about saying goodbyes to your loved ones, finding closure, and finally leaving for Vinland to live out Eivor's final days. For players who completed the main story, the DLCs, and truly invested in Eivor's life, this moment is deeply emotional. Unfortunately, because of Valhalla's sheer size, many players never reach this point, so it doesn't hit as hard for everyone. But for those who do, it's one of the most emotional endings in the series. Mirage is a shorter experience but a memorable one. Despite its tighter scope, the game struggles with its story and overall presentation. Still, its most emotional moment doesn't come from the main game, but from its expansion, Valley of Memory. In the story, Basim is forced to confront his past and the trauma of his father leaving him. The moment becomes even more heartbreaking when he finds his father captured and suffering from dementia, unable to recognize his own son and still living in the past. That realization completely breaks Basim. Instead of correcting him, he chooses to play along. For anyone who's played it, the scene stands as the saddest and most emotionally heavy moment in Mirage. Shadows follows Valhalla in story structure, with the narrative built around revenge and loss. The scattered story relies heavily on emotional moments to drive the characters forward. Both protagonists endure intense hardships. Naue loses her father as he dies while protecting the Imperial Regalia, and she herself is gravely injured in the battle. This trauma haunts her for the rest of her journey and sets the tone for her story. Yasuke too faces tragedy. His mother is killed right in front of him and all he can do is watch. Fortunately, he is saved by the assassins, but the pain of that moment lingers, making it one of the most emotional parts of the game. And this marks the end of the video. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe for more content like this one. And if you think that some other emotional moment deserves a spot, then also let us know in the comments. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care and goodbye.